What is going on, guys? JD from New York here, back yet again with WWE News and Rumors, your favorite day of the week. This time for the week ending January 19th, 2014. And like I always say, fuck those other guys. Fuck those other guys. This right here is your #1 source for all your WWE needs right here on YouTube.com. Now, before I begin, I want to let you guys know there's 1 week left until the Royal Rumble. Royal Rumble 2014, I will be doing episode 2 of Behind the Mic with JD. I'll be doing my Royal Rumble preview and predictions. I'll be going over the entire match card and why I think Daniel Bryan should win the 2014 Royal Rumble. But enough of that. That's coming this week. I will notify you guys on Twitter. If you're not following me, please do so. Link is down below, at JD from NY206. That is the absolute best way to reach me. I'm on Twitter all day long because I have no life and work sucks. Plain and simple. Alright. Biggest story of the week, guys. I'm surprised. I'm letting you guys know right now. I'm surprised Sean's View Entertainment did not cover this week. Now, this has been on and off for the last 2 or 3 years. Why hasn't he come to the WWE? Why hasn't he signed with the WWE? Why hasn't he come up north to Connecticut? Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Sting. I'm surprised nobody has covered this on YouTube yet. I think this is the absolute biggest story of the week because, in all actuality, this dream may be coming a reality. Sting to the WWE, is it going to happen? If you guys did not know, Sting was written out of TNA storylines at Thursday's Genesis Week 2 tapings, which will air next Thursday, January 24th on Spike TV. Sting faced Magnus in a high-stakes match for the TNA World Championship. The stipulation was Sting got one more title shot if he puts his TNA career on the line. With a lot of interference, spoiler alert here, so if you don't want to listen to it, then just click off the video right now, but I'm going to read it anyway. With a lot of interference, Magnus got the win and retained his title. After the match, Magnus tore up Sting's TNA contract, effective writing him off television. As reported earlier this week by various sources, Sting has actually been working for TNA without a contract and has been in talks with the WWE regarding a match at WrestleMania 30. Unbelievable. Sting finally may be coming to the WWE. This may be the last hurrah, folks. I do not see Sting coming back from something like that. I really don't. If you're going to write him into a storyline to fight Magnus for one night only, have him lose and then have Magnus in the middle of the ring on camera in front of a TNA audience rip up his contract, what does that say about Sting? More than likely he's not coming back. More than likely he's not signing another deal with TNA. TNA has given Sting everything humanly possible to make that man comfortable down south. Okay? Sting knows TNA more than likely will go out of business. It's coming. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to hear it or not, TNA is going out of business. Sting wants to, have that one last big payday. He's been very vocal in the last couple of years about coming to the WWE, about fighting The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Now, a lot of people, I've been reading the message boards today, a lot of people are saying, oh, Sting is 55 years old. What kind of shape would he be in for WrestleMania? What kind of match would he put on for WrestleMania? Who wants to see a 55-year-old Sting against a 49-year-old Undertaker? I do. I do. If you're a wrestling fan in general, why wouldn't you want to see that match? Well, I mean, what would you want to see in replace of that match? Yes, we all want to see Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. Of course, I want to see that as well. But Brock Lesnar is going to be around. Sting is not going to be around. The Undertaker is not going to be around too much longer. I give him another couple of years, tops, before he calls it quits. This is the dream match everybody wants to see. Now, if you think back, when Shawn Michaels retired Ric Flair was 58 years old at the time of that retirement match at WrestleMania. Ric Flair put on a hell of a match against Shawn Michaels. What makes you think Sting wouldn't be in tip-top shape for his age to go against someone like The Undertaker? What makes you think The Undertaker and Sting, working together, they have a history together. Undertaker was in WWE, you know? Undertaker, before he was even The Undertaker. Mark Calloway was in the WWE. Mean Mark Calloway, you know? He's going to sit down with Sting and iron out and detail the best match possible. These are two legends. What makes you think they're not going to put on a great match at WrestleMania? I don't understand people's logic. Oh, I don't want to see Sting at WrestleMania. Oh, I don't want to see a 55-year-old Sting at WrestleMania wrestling The Undertaker, who is another old fossil. Are you fucking kidding me? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You fucking grab that and you do not let it go. You make it happen if it's available for you. Vince, make it happen. If Sting is at WrestleMania fighting The Undertaker, WrestleMania's pay-per-view buy rate or whatever, is going to be the biggest WrestleMania of all time. Just on that one match. We can always get Undertaker versus Cena. We can always get Undertaker versus Bryan. We can always get Undertaker versus Lesnar. Undertaker's going to be around. If Sting is around for 55, at the age of 55, what makes you think The Undertaker's not going to be around? Undertaker is in better shape than all these guys were at his age. Every one of them. Hogan, Flair, Sting. He puts on a 5-star match every year. I expect nothing less out of The Undertaker. This needs to happen. I want it to happen. Remember those promos when we seen that mysterious figure walking into the woods, into that log cabin with the rain, the trench coat? Everybody thought that was Sting. That was meant for Sting. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Everybody's like, oh yeah, that was meant for The Undertaker all along. No, that was meant for Sting because he was in contract negotiations and they fell through. So if The Undertaker comes back, can you imagine having Sting just mysteriously pop up on Monday Night Raw in the black trench coat, in the white face paint, looking down in the rafters at The Undertaker in the middle of the ring? I mean, the way they could go about this and make it epic, it doesn't even need a story behind it. Sting has come. Sting wants The Undertaker. Sting wants the Shriek. That's it. That's it. He's coming from TNA. Listen, I've never been in WWE. What do I want first and foremost? I want The Undertaker at WrestleMania. It needs no story behind it. It's got to happen. This may be the closest, the absolute closest we see Sting in the WWE. I will be following this story very closely. Any new updates I will have for you here, or on Behind the Mic, or on my Monday Night Raw review, I will have it. Somewhere on my 3 shows, I will have news on this story. I see this being big. I see Sting finally making the jump to Stamford, Connecticut, and signing that contract with Vince. I know he's worried about his character, but, you got to take that leap of faith. You got to trust Vince. Vince is at a time right now where he wants to make WrestleMania big. You should be honored Vince wants you at WrestleMania, even though you never stepped foot in the WWE ring. Please, make it happen. WWE's confirmed. This is the other big story, which I think is a crock of shit, okay? WWE has confirmed to us, to the fans, the WWE Universe, that Daniel Bryan suffered a concussion in the main event of Raw on Monday night. WWE still hasn't acknowledged the injury on their website, and it wasn't mentioned at tonight's SmackDown tapings. This was on Tuesday. I took this article on Tuesday. Word going around backstage at SmackDown this week was that Bryan did not remember a lot of what happened in the cage, and that the concussion seemed to be serious. The only thing confirmed so far is the diagnosis of the concussion. More details should be available as he undergoes standard testing this week. I haven't heard a lick from Daniel Bryan or his doctors or anybody regarding this story. What I think, and I know Sean's view touched upon this, he reported it as it happened. He reported the same story I'm reporting to you right now. I think it's a crock of shit, because I even commented on his channel. If you've seen Daniel Bryan flying around the ring, delivering fucking, clotheslines and knees and kicks and climbing the cage and this and that and throwing Bray Wyatt into the cage, knocking each member of the Wyatt family off the cage as they try to attempt to go into the ring, Daniel Bryan doesn't have a concussion. If he's got a concussion, he's a fucking a miracle worker for what he did in that ring. I haven't heard a goddamn thing about him having a concussion. Now, if he has a concussion, this could be detrimental. It could be fucking backbreaking to the WWE storylines, because he's going to win the Royal Rumble. He has to win the Royal Rumble. He must win the Royal Rumble. I do not care what happens in that match. Daniel Bryan needs to win that Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan needs to be the one pointing to the WrestleMania 30 logo after that pay-per-view goes off the air. Now, if he's not in the Royal Rumble, the entire fucking storyline, the spectrum, the scripts, everything has to be rewritten. And that's going to cause WWE to go in panic mode, and we do not want that to happen. Somewhat, I know they have some kind of solid idea where they want to go. We need to see that idea and those ideas in action on TV. If Daniel Bryan is not there, things are going to get fucked up. And I haven't heard a goddamn thing regarding Daniel Bryan, and I hope I don't. I hope I'm wrong about all this, but if it comes to light, if it comes to be, that is true, and he does have a concussion, and he's not in the Royal Rumble, we're in for a Batista-Orton WrestleMania main event, folks. Get ready for it. Because there's no other person in that ring on January 26th that's going to win that Royal Rumble. It's not. Batista's going to win it. If Daniel Bryan is not in that Royal Rumble, Batista's going to win it, and we're all going to be fucking wanting to point a gun to our head because it's the same shit over and over again. Batista doesn't deserve the Royal Rumble, and I'll touch upon this in behind the mic. I don't want to go into it because I'll just rant and rant and rant, and I don't want to do that. I'll save it for another video. What else we got here? As we've seen on this week's Raw, WWE quickly ended the Daniel Bryan Bray Wyatt storyline. If you guys are wondering why WWE ended this so fast, here we go. And had Daniel Bryan turn on Bray Wyatt inside the steel cage. Word coming out of Raw is that Bryan wasn't scheduled to turn on Bray until WrestleMania 30. But the decision was made over the weekend to turn him because WWE did not want to miss out on the big opportunity as more time went by having him work as a heel. Excuse me. Also, a source reports that what happened at the Michigan State University game a few weeks back with the entire crowd chanting yes gave WWE officials further proof that they needed to be taking full advantage of the Daniel Bryan momentum. Let me tell you something. If you're going to use Daniel Bryan's momentum, I want you to use it in a positive way. I want you to fucking take it, run with it, and make money off of it. Make him the WWE champion. Plain and simple. I know why they ended the storyline, because they're fucking idiots. They rushed the storyline. Oh, let's make Daniel Bryan a heel. Nobody will care. Really? Nobody will care? You're lucky. WWE Creative is lucky. Rhode Island crowd on Monday Night Raw. Okay? The neighbor to New York. Okay? They're lucky that the Rhode Island crowd gave them the reception that they did. Or gave Daniel Bryan the reception that they did. Okay? Actually, you fucking sacrificed the Wyatts for Daniel Bryan, which I don't mind at this point because Daniel Bryan deserves all the attention that's got coming to him. But you sacrificed the Wyatts. Where do they go from here? Okay? Their sacrifice for Daniel Bryan. The crowd ate it up. They were in the palm of Daniel Bryan, and he was controlling that crowd like I've never seen before since Steve Austin and The Rock. Okay? And that's saying something. I said this on Monday Night Raw. Daniel Bryan, you know, had the crowd at his fingertips. And for those people saying Daniel Bryan sucks, Daniel Bryan's crowd reactions are fake, I mean, are you fucking people retarded? They're fake? He doesn't deserve anything? He doesn't need the WWE Championship? He may not need the WWE Championship in the way that he's being received by the crowd, but he certainly deserves it. There's a difference between needing and deserving. He doesn't need the title. He deserves it. Why? Because nobody else on that roster is going to give you a crowd reaction like him. That deserves all the titles in the fucking WWE. Why? Because when you get a crowd reaction like that, you sell merchandise, you're fucking on the cover of magazines, you're the face of the WWE, and when you're outdoing John Cena on a nightly basis, what does that tell you? That you've made it. When you have the fucking name Daniel Bryan coming out of the mouth of The Undertaker, and he wants to work with you at WrestleMania, you fucking made it. He deserves the championship. People are starting to take notice. The crowd has already taken notice. 6 months back. Everybody is behind Daniel Bryan. Give him the title. Give him a lengthy reign. Let him run with it. Feud him with Lesnar and get it over with. Done. I just booked you an entire half a year worth of WWE World Title storyline. There you go. Because my best friend actually texted me today. He says a Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar match would be actually pretty damn good. You know, and I honestly agree with him. I would love to see Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar. If CM Punk could get a match out of Brock Lesnar like he did at SummerSlam, I'm sure Daniel Bryan could do the same thing. WWE Hall of Famer Roddy Piper has been arguing with company officials for the better part of the past year and their problems were only resolved sometime in the last 6 to 7 weeks. This is why Piper isn't featured in the WWE 2K14 video game. Who cares? When it came time for Piper to sign a contract for the Legends House reality TV show that will be debuting on the WWE Network, the contract was made, and the talents agreed, and the talents on the show agreed not to do any other wrestling or MMA shows before the Legends House debuted, and for a certain number of days after it aired. As you know, Legends House was filmed a while back and still has not aired on TV. Piper refused to sign the deal because his son is an MMA fighter, and Piper would not do anything to potentially jeopardize his son's career down the line. Piper wanted to make sure he was able to use his name and likeness to help his son in any way. This issue between Piper and company officials was only recently worked out because they want him to be a part of Wrestlemania 30. This is completely new to me. I had no idea until I read this story only a few days ago. That's a very interesting story. Piper's son is MMA. Legends House is supposed to be on the WWE Network. It still hasn't aired. They didn't want them doing any other work for any other promotion, including MMA, until the show aired, until several dates after the show aired and before the show takes place on the network. Piper didn't want to do that. His son's in MMA. He wants to use that Rowdy Piper name and, help his son build a career and get some momentum behind his son's career. That's why. And listen, I don't blame Rowdy Piper for that. I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, fuck you, I'm not jeopardizing my son's career. This is your fuck up. It's not my fault you can't find a home for this fucking show. So it's not my son's fault either. You're not taking this out on us. I'm using my name, and I'm going to fucking help my son get his MMA career started. So I don't blame Piper at all, but this is a new story that I had no idea about, and I figured I would bring it to you guys. That's an interesting one. And Piper, I'm hearing, every day this past week, I'm hearing Piper's going to be a part of WrestleMania 30. In what capacity, I don't know. Now, that's someone I don't want to see in the ring because he's vastly out of shape, and I don't think he has any place at WrestleMania 30 besides an enforcer or a referee or something like that. I do not want to see him in the ring. WWE recently resolved their issues with Piper. The story continues because they want him to be a part of WrestleMania 30 weekend. WWE wants Piper and other WrestleMania 1 stars, mainly the main event participants, to headline the Hall of Fame ceremony that weekend. The idea being pitched right now within WWE would see Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper, Mr. T, Paul Orndorff to be inducted, making it the first time ever that a match itself is inducted into the Hall of Fame. It's possible that Jimmy Snuka and Bob Orton, who also participated in the WrestleMania 1 main event, could be inducted as well. Inducting a match into the Hall of Fame opens the door for similar inductions into the future. Mr. T has reportedly turned down WWE in the past several times, but word now is that officials recently reached out to him and they are negotiating. If this plan goes through, obviously it would make Hogan, Piper, Orndorff, Orton, and Snuka two-time Hall of Famers like Ric Flair. I like that idea, and I'm going to tell you why. WrestleMania is the biggest event in all of wrestling. It would only make sense for matches themselves to be put into the Hall of Fame. Not every match, but matches that have been so legendary at WrestleMania to be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. That's a great idea. I hope WWE actually goes through with that. We've had a few in the past couple of years. Obviously, you know the all-time greats. I don't need to repeat them here. You got, I'm going to repeat a few. You got Steamboat versus Savage. You got Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. You got, more recently, you got The Undertaker versus HBK 1 and HBK 2. Triple H versus The Undertaker in the Hell in the Cell. Fucking unbelievable match. I mean, you got so many fucking matches that you could induct into the Hall of Fame. I really hope the WWE, brings these matches to life and gives them the proper, whatever, shrine that they deserve in the Hall of Fame because, some fans, younger fans, may not know these matches. And it would be a great idea for the younger audience, to educate themselves on the history of WrestleMania and what matches happened at WrestleMania and who the participants were, what titles were on the line during those matches, what kind of ramifications those matches had, the participants, and it's a whole spectrum of shit that the younger audience could just eat up. And I hope the WWE goes through with that because that's a fantastic idea. And I like that story as well. And this is what's going to make Hogan a shoo-in for WrestleMania. You know, he's already there. The contract is already signed, I'm hearing. You know, he's been telling people, listen, I'm going to be at WrestleMania 30. This is just going to be one of his many doings at WrestleMania. Piper as well. So I look forward to that. It should be interesting to see during WrestleMania weekend. What else do I got going on here? WWE is planning, the story continues, this is a big story. WWE is planning on inducting the WrestleMania 1 main event into the Hall of Fame this year. That's what the report says. Hulk Hogan, Piper, Mr. T, Orndorff, and others, like I just mentioned. But while that idea is still being pitched for Piper and Hogan during WrestleMania 30 weekend, it is still possible they will have some kind of match and play some kind of role on the pay-per-view itself. I have reported here a few times in the past couple of weeks that Piper pitched the idea of doing a top heel, he and a top heel versus Hogan and John Cena. Don't like it. Do not like it. At one point, Piper wanted that heel to be CM Punk, but WWE likely won't be turning Punk again heel this soon. Okay, well, Punk is going to be going against Triple H. I know this for a fact. If that doesn't happen, I would be completely shocked. So I just don't see that match happening at all. I don't want Hogan and Cena teaming up. I would rather have Hogan versus Cena in a one-on-one match. I've been hearing Hogan versus Piper. Who the fuck wants to see that at WrestleMania 30? That's just a waste of a match on a card. Hogan versus Cena, past versus present, done. Doesn't even need a fucking storyline behind it. Just have Hogan come out in the Hollywood gear, have him confront John Cena, have him do their epic promos, this and that. It doesn't need a storyline behind it. Listen, I'm back in the WWE. I want the one man who's been the face of the WWE for the last 11 years. I want John Cena. Plain and simple. That's all you got to do. And now Hogan, I know, listen, Hogan's about, what is he, 60, 61, 62 years old? You know, he's still in decent shape. I don't know what kind of match he's going to have with John Cena, but it can't be worse than The Rock. It can't be worse than The Rock, you know? And it's something to see. It's a sight to behold, WrestleMania 30. Hogan belongs there. Hogan deserves to be there after all he's given to the WWE. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Make it happen. And everybody, you know, on WWE.com, I've been reading shit in the past couple of weeks. There's one match between a past superstar and a present superstar. Which two superstars would you like to see square off at WrestleMania? Obviously, the first two names, Hogan and John Cena. I've noted a few weeks ago via the Wrestling Observer that The Undertaker had requested to work with Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30, but no more details were available. We now have an update. More than one source has confirmed Taker's request. Apparently, Taker himself is worried about facing Brock Lesnar in a match that might be too physical for Taker's recently surgical repaired hip. And that's why he requested Daniel Bryan. It's no secret that WWE officials have been concerned over how physical Lesnar is. However, the bigger note here is the indecisiveness regarding who will be challenging for the streak less than 3 months out from WrestleMania 30. If it does happen, it does happen. Right now, we don't have any solid ideas, but as far as I'm concerned, Daniel Bryan needs to win the Royal Rumble. He shouldn't be concerned with The Undertaker right now. I know The Undertaker has requested to work with Daniel Bryan, but, you know, I don't see Daniel Bryan beating the streak. I would much rather see Daniel Bryan win the Rumble, win the WWE Championship, close the main event at WrestleMania, close the pay-per-view, and have 85,000 people chanting yes. That would be the most epic moment one of the most epic moments ever in WWE history if that happened. So I would rather have that happen than see Undertaker versus Daniel Bryan. That's just my honest opinion. Let me know what you guys think. For those who missed this week's episode of WWE Main Event, Ryback did a lap around the ring after every match, including the Bad News Barrett segment. This new wrinkle for Ryback's character as he's booked to be an insane heel. At one point, the question was raised on commentary if viewers have heard of a paranoid schizophrenic, implying that's what Ryback was. This explains the bizarre social media behavior now coined as tweet and delete. Many fans started to question the stability of the former #1 contender when he went on a bizarre Twitter rant after Saturday night's WWE live event. The tweets continued Sunday and even seemed to be getting personal after this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. As it turns out, the entire thing is an elaborate work to try and generate heat virally. Apparently, we haven't been the only ones that thought Ryback had lost it, as people within the company had questioned his eccentric behavior. Ryback is cordial at shows, however, he is not close with anyone and generally keeps to himself. Now, there was a lot of news online. Is Ryback fired? Did Ryback get terminated? Did he get future endeavored? You know, everybody was reporting. I was the only one who did not report because I don't see WWE releasing Ryback. I didn't believe it. and I waited for the story to play out on its own. I'm glad I did because I hate reporting false information. I report the news and rumors, but I give you my opinion behind them. But when there's actually something concrete, I want to make sure it is official, and I'll bring it to you. I don't give a fuck if I bring it to you last, as long as it's true and it's honest and it's not some fabricated bullshit. Ryback is not terminated. He was never in the process of being terminated. It was all done as a work to work the Twitter audience, the WWE Universe, you know, everywhere. Even the WWE officials in the back. This is his new character. He's going to be booked right now as an insane heel, schizophrenic. He's going to do what he wants, say what he wants, and that's where the WWE's going with that. That could be a good gimmick for him. That could be a good gimmick for him. You know, he's fitting the role perfectly. You know, I see him being that kind of guy. So now it's got to translate to, you know, a storyline or a feud that's upcoming with him. I don't know what's going to be happening at WrestleMania. I'm hearing right now that the Goldberg situation with Ryback is completely dead because negotiations have been at a standstill with Goldberg. I'm not sure if he's coming back to the WWE. I know he's asking for a lot of money. If I was Vince, I would give him whatever he wanted just to have the name Goldberg at WrestleMania. But right now, Ryback is still with the WWE. It's good to go. This is his new gimmick, an insane, schizophrenic heel. So do not worry about it. Ryback is still with the WWE. As seen on Monday's Old School Special, Monday Night Raw, Alberto Del Rio returned from being out with a concussion and picked up a win over Sin Cara, the new Sin Cara, Hunico. And Del Rio was criticized by one official backstage for not touching a gym while he was out of action waiting to be cleared. One source said it gave the impression to WWE officials that Del Rio wasn't putting enough effort into being ready for TV. Regardless of how bad News Barrett and his gimmick has been received by fans online, I like the gimmick. It is said that Vince McMahon really enjoys the character. Many people within the company think that the Bad News Barrett gimmick has failed horribly already. I like it. I don't know. I don't see what the problem is. You know, if Vince likes it, Vince is going to like it. But I do want to see Wade Barrett get back in the ring. It's been a while. You know, let that translate. Let the funny promos and the sarcastic promos, and I like his promo skill. I've always liked his promo skill, even when he was tweeting with John Cena and the Nexus. Let him get back in the ring, and let him get some heel heat that way. You know, I would definitely like to see more of him. So hopefully we get to see more of Bad News Barrett. The LA Times reported this week that WWE has spent over $40 million on developing the WWE Network. The company plans to break even by the end of the year if you factor in lost pay-per-view revenue. As I reported last week, Dolph Ziggler is currently out of action with a concussion after taking a stiff clothesline from Ryback after last Monday's Superstar taping. The fact that WWE sent Ziggler to a neuropsychologist in Pittsburgh shows that there is more major concern over his health than ever before. Ziggler received good results since then, but there is still a lot of chatter within WWE regarding his future moving forward. One source noted that even though Ziggler's last two concussions have not been his fault, he's probably going to have to, or at least be advised to, change his in-ring style. Dolph Ziggler is known for taking big bumps and going all out for matches, but he may have to tone it down going forward. That's a damn shame. Fuck you to Ryback for being stiff with him. Fuck you for Jack Swagger for being stiff with him. Dolph Ziggler has just had a bad string of bad luck. Nothing he can do about it. It comes with the territory. It's the way of the business. I don't want to see Ziggler tone down his in-ring style, but if it's for the better of his health or the betterment of his health, it's probably the best thing to do. Hopefully he's back in action soon. I would love to see him in the Royal Rumble, but right now I don't know how likely that's going to be. WWE is going to keep him out as long as they, see fit. So, if there's anything new with Dolph Ziggler on a possible return, I will definitely let you guys know. A title unification match between the WWE United States Champion Dean Ambrose and Intercontinental Champion Big E Langston is likely to take place at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. Thank God. There's no need for a United States Championship. Dean Ambrose hasn't defended that title in fucking months. Big E, obviously, they gave him the IC title to help build his character. He's not going to bring any prestige back to that belt. What will bring prestige back to the mid-card is having one belt, because right now, the U.S. Championship, it's nothing. It is absolutely nothing. There should be one belt and one belt only, and that is the IC title. You got so many guys who can challenge for the IC title. If there's one belt, surrounding 12 or 14 different guys in the mid-card, obviously it makes the chase better, because then you got guys who are going after the U.S. title. You got guys going after the IC title. One belt, all these different contenders, make Big E a big target, bring prestige back to that, make those matches hard fought and fucking, all out, The IC title used to be that one title that everybody wanted to go for because it was the next step for the WWE Championship. You were pretty much the #1 contender for the WWE Championship if you were the IC title. Now that the titles in WWE, there's so many of them, it's watered down, nobody knows who anybody is. There's no value to these titles. So having one belt like they did with the WWE Championship is going to bring a lot more prestige back to that title because there's only one belt now. There's not two. Same thing's going to happen with Big E's IC title. I look forward to that. Hopefully that is a truth and not just a rumor. Vince McMahon mentioned at the WWE Network announcement that reality TV would be part of the content which airs on the WWE Network when it launches. It looks like one of those shows could be the return of Tough Enough, which I definitely enjoyed. I definitely hope this is true. Tough Enough and NXT NXT trainer Bill DeMott tweeted the following this week, saying, I quote, this can only mean one thing. Who thinks they are #tough enough? Hopefully it comes back. Like I said, I definitely enjoyed the show when it first aired with Steve Austin and Booker T and Trish Stratus. Great show. Hopefully it comes back for the network. Wrestle Inc. reports that Hulk Hogan confirmed he will be at WrestleMania 30 during the Affiliate Summit West Marketing Conference in Las Vegas this week. Hogan was there to promote his Hostamania web hosting company. When Hogan was asked if he would be returning to the WWE, he said that he will indeed be working WrestleMania 30. There you got it. Wrestle Inc. reported it. They asked him directly. Hogan will be at WrestleMania 30. In what way? We still have to find that out. And finally, guys, a little fun fact for you guys. For what it's worth, TheRichest.com has posted a new article on their website looking at the top 10 wealthiest pro wrestlers of all time. Their list looks like this. Number 10, Mick Foley, worth $15 million. The Undertaker at number 9, worth $16 million. Shawn Michaels at number 8 with $17 million. Chris Jericho at number 7 with $18 million. Kurt Angle at number 6 with $20 million. Number 5, The Big Show, worth $20 million. Triple H, number 4, worth $25 million. John Cena, number 3, with $35 million. Steve Austin, worth $45 million. And number 1, of course, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, the fake one, net worth $70 million. Obviously, he's number 1. He's Mr. Big Hollywood, comes back for WrestleMania and then disappears because he's got to go off and film Hercules. He's got to be the big movie star, right? Whatever. Dwayne Johnson, $70 million. I figured that would be a fun fact for you guys. That is this week's news and rumors. What am I doing here? What kind of video we got? 32 minutes of my fucking mug on your Saturday morning. Jesus Christ. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, obviously you know what to do. Like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe. I am 500 away from 10,000 subscribers. Spread the word, if you're a WWE fan, about JD from New York and his WWE content. I bring news and rumors the best I possibly can to you every week. I got Monday Night Raw review every Tuesday following Monday Night Raw every week. And I also am starting up Behind the Mic. The next episode should be sometime this week. I will definitely notify you guys, so keep checking your sub boxes. Royal Rumble's coming up. News and rumors on the Royal Rumble, preview and predictions on the Royal Rumble. That's going to be the next episode of Behind the Mic. Hope you guys tune in for that. I'm out, guys. Take care. I'm going to enjoy a nice cold beer, relax, and I'm going to play some Call of Duty. So enjoy this episode, guys. Like I said, leave your comments down below on all the biggest stories, and I will see you on Tuesday for Monday Night Raw review, guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.